Hello, today we're going to bring you three important messages. This video is about the Caribana, the records of Caribana, which is still showing it started in 1967. In effect, Caribana first parade was in 1968. We would hear Joe Brown addressing that. He was there. He was part of the parade. So we will be rectifying the record that the 60th anniversary of Caribana would be in 2028 and not 2027. I have to correct my records because I also covered this video that I'm going to show you, which was supposed to be the 50th anniversary of the Toronto Carnival in 2017, and in effect it's supposed to be 2018. Now all documentation is showing that the 50th anniversary was in 2017, but it's important that we in the community understand that the records and the history need to be accurate, and Joe Brown is going to address that in this video. Next information is that the Toronto Caribbean Soccer History Part 1 of 8 parts is going to be published and released in Black History Month, which is February here, 2026. So that's the second piece of information, and this video actually comprised of 4 of the major players here in the Toronto Carnival, which is Marcus Eustace, Louis Saldenah, Jamal McGraw, and Curtis Eustace. Again, it was part of the 2017 parade, which I thought was the 50th anniversary. We can't change what we did, but we certainly could correct it in moving forward. So again, what you're going to hear is that 1967 was the centennial year. A lot of the different cultures and entities participated in celebrating the 100th anniversary of the country, and I think Joe Brown is going to put that the best way, better than I could. So I'll leave that up to Joe Brown. But just an update in that Curtis Eustace, which is King of Kings in Trinidad and Tobago Carnival, also won the King of Carnival in 2025 last year. So again, it's important information. So hope you enjoy the video.
Hi, my name is Joseph Brown, but everybody calls me Joe Brown. So they call me Joe Brown.
Official part of Caribana?
Yes, there was a time I was the artistic director for the island.
And I don't want to put all that weight on your shoulder, Joe, but what exactly happened with this organization? I'm not saying within your time it might have been perfect, but
no,
on the overall picture.
It's so painful for me that even to talk about that is very painful, because like the first Caribana started in 68, not 67. 67 was the centennial year. And that's how the whole idea germinated, when Charles Rose and Adrian Pitt and these guys decided we were going to ask the government if we could do this every year. And the first Caribana started in 1968. So the first Caribana is 1968. Some people are still saying 1967. There was no Caribana in 1967. It was the centennial year that they were celebrating.
Okay, thanks for correcting that. I need that information because that's what we do.
Mm-hmm. So, and that's it. And no matter what anybody else tell you, trust me, the first Caribana was 1968.
Okay. And were you part of it then, or how you got it?
We were part of it from 67, when the centennial year, as a trade win. We played, with the same grouping and coming on the street, we did all that.
So
They
wait. So let's understand the centennial year.
Mm.
You just mentioned coming down the street with the trade winds.
Mm.
It was something similar to Caribana, but it wasn't Caribana. Is that what you're saying?
Was not Caribana. It's the 100th anniversary. It was a Canadian thing. 100th anniversary of celebration of the 100th anniversary of this country. So they had all kinds of people, and all different people
Celebrating, yes.
celebrating that. And we happened to be a part of that as Caribbean people, you know, and we became very, very prominent because they never see no steel band on the road. They never see, you know what I mean, people really enjoy themselves on the road like that. And 67?
Yeah.
No, it was Canadian. It was Canadian. Little sprinklings of us in there. Dick Smith with his little group. And, you know, we had the trade winds.
But what I'm trying to get to you is that why you write in what the specifics of it, the name Caribana in 68. The people, the organizers of Caribana that came from the centennial to the 68 felt that they had it in them. They already got their feet wet.
It was never that. It was never that. It's the old fires burning in all of us. I wanted to do something. Wanted to be something. Wanted to be seen, represented, and to show them how that is done. We were just a minuscule part of that 67. When that happened, so and the way in which we were received, this little segment was received, and the fact that we're all, that's in, you know, our DNA, you know, Carnival and Bacchanal, and we want to come forward, you know, and they decided they would take it to the government and try to get that done. I can't remember the name of a guy. There's a guy, he might have been a Barbadian, who named Caribana, who made that name up. I can't remember his name. Somebody might be able to help you with that. I can't remember his name, but this guy coined that word Caribana is his word. It was done.
And that is causing so much of a problem, and I find it shouldn't.
Listen, when you mentioned Caribana, it's a hurtful, painful thing to me. Because we did this all for nothing. We put all that stuff on year after year for nothing. Now, when the government gave a few dollars, and I remember they made a report one year, they said 500 million collected over the weekend. Over everything, right? It came into the city. That wasn't our figures, that's their figures. And this group of people from City Hall, I want to be as accurate. What I'm telling you is very diplomatic, but it's accurate. They were planning the Pride Parade. The Pride Parade came out of the Caribana.
You think so, Joe?
I know, I'm not thinking so. I'm telling you so. I'm not thinking. That's what I tell you. I want to be as diplomatic as I can and pleasant as I can. But let them defy me. Let them come to me and tell me no. I know. Ask the masked man.
Sally?
Sally, yeah, Sally.
We have a gentleman here, Louis Saldenah, but are you the original Saldenah?
No. My father started in 1952 when he brought his first band called Covades, and he was the first band leader, broke the bands down into section. So I was very fortunate to grow up in Trinidad Carnival when mass was really mass. Yeah, I think when I was 8 or 9 years old, that's when I started to get involved as a kid, started painting, you know, the standards and so on, you know. Then I moved into, I'm more involved in the band in the sense of controlling the membership, doing the accounting and so on. And a couple of years after that, 1970, that's when I migrated to Toronto. Came up in 1970, I went to school and came up as a teenager, late teenagers, and 7 parade went by before I got involved. And actually my dad came up here because he had quit bringing mass, and we brought the first band, which was Shangri-La, together. We won Band of the Year, King and Queen. So we had about 98 people that played mass with us.
Okay.
And then he just dropped out and I took over after that. Toronto was very fortunate that they had good creative people that settled here in Toronto. That's why the carnival today is so good. They had Ken Shah, Nip Davis, Costello, Whitfield Velasco. They had good people. 83, 84, I did not participate after winning Banadier in 82. I didn't want to. I had really made up my mind not to participate anymore because there was too much backstabbing and I wasn't into that negativity. But my father went back to Trinidad when he took in sick and he died in 85. And in his dying bed he told me in his exact words, don't let them run you. And I came back and our record speaks for itself. We won 17 Band of the Years and we came runner-up 12 times. Well, I've been the biggest bands for the past 8 years. But the thing about it is I can't do it by myself. Like I always say, when you're involved in a parade like this, especially we as West Indians come up to this country and we brought our culture here. One of the fundamental mistakes we make, we did not get politically involved. The way how this political situation works is City Hall rather come and see you representing a group, because when we have our group, when I say our group, the band leaders, everybody's fighting on their own other than coming together, and that's the sad part, because when you come together you have more strength and people kind of respect you more.
So I want to thank you for giving me this time.
No problem, you're quite welcome.
The Saldenah Mass 2017, you guys scream for the judges. 1, 2, everything is at the color. We have liquor ready peace. Tell them we rolling bumper. Man them a whining bumper. Saldenah! I want you to shell it. Shell it. Shell it. Shell it down. Shell it. Shell it down. So the guys have been real easy. Simple. Easy. Shell it down. Aye, aye, aye. Saldenah! Let them know this is the sexiest band in Toronto. Somebody scream. Hey!
My name is Marcus Eustace and I'm one of the band leaders here at Carnival Nations in Toronto. I also design Kings and Queens of Carnival in Trinidad and Tobago. This year my two creations, one the King of Carnival in Trinidad and also the Queen of Carnival in Trinidad. My uncle Norris was a designer in Trinidad. He actually designed for Harold Saldenah. As you all know, that's Louis' father here in Toronto.
Yeah.
My uncle used to design his bands in Trinidad.
Yeah.
So there's a close relationship there with the families. And then my dad, Ted Eustace, was a King of Carnival in Trinidad. He is still known for one of the best King of Carnivals ever. That's the cockfight in Trinidad in 1975, for 40-something years, and they still talk about the first mass in, with movement, seeing these two cocks fighting, Well, when he was still doing it in the 80s, I was, neck and neck with him. I was living in Trinidad.
Okay.
In 1990, we migrated, the family. He came up for, I think, 2 or 3 months, just to make sure we set, and he went back down to his job in Coca-Cola. He was an operations manager. And I stayed up here. After the first year, I saw Caribana, and to be honest, no offense, but I couldn't believe this was Caribana. I laughed. So I said, no, this has to change. So 1990 when I started with Louis Saldenah. I gave them, my best, I helped, promote the band a lot, So, mostly everything we did by Louis won. When I look back, everybody know, like when I came to this town, the mass completely changed around. I built the king for Rudy. He won about 10 times. Rudy Rampasad. I think he still holds the record for most kings. So that's where I started. And my dad used to come up build the queen for Louis. And and then after his passing in 2001, our next brother Curtis, he was also playing king. He took over from my father. And when I look back at some pictures of what I used to build back then, it's still I say I can't believe I built this. It was a lot of like Bristol board and Christmas tree decorations that we kept moving on and moving on. But Carnival Nations is a band we formed back in 2005 after being with Louis for 15 years, helping Rudy band. Every year I try to be different. Like for instance, foil. The folding of the foil. I started that here in Toronto. Now everybody doing it, so I had to move away from that. Now with the sequins and fires, loading up almost the entire costume, everybody started heading towards there. So I moved away again, and we started into engineering with pneumatics. So far they haven't gotten to that level yet. And the last 6 years running, consecutive years, Carnival Nations has won King and Queen. Toronto.
Carnival Nation! Good morning! Good morning! Everybody, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up! Oh yeah, we walking out, so it's okay. Meet me on the lake shore. Meet me on the lake shore. I tell you, it's all yeah, we walking out, so it's okay. Meet me on the road. Meet me on the road. The drinking start, start it, start. Let's start. The drinking start, the pumping start, the lightning. Right now, let me start. The drinking start, the pumping start, the betting. Right now, let me start. Carnival Nations, hello. Ready for the road, 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 ready for the road. Take it every day, take it
Nice. Carnival Nations, if you could please let your other side.
My name is Jamal McGorge. I'm also the band leader of the Toronto Revellers. And I've gained this passion, and I've had it for a long time. Both of my parents are from Trinidad and Tobago. They had a flow or a band, and they grew up in a culture that celebrated emancipation each and every year. And we have our version in Canada that we celebrate every year called Toronto Carnival, which I'm very proud to take part of. And this is my 11th year, and the name of our band is called Toronto Revellers. So it's something that I take pride in, I'm very passionate about. The Caribbean is filled with so many different flavors, so many different islands that this is just our way of giving back. It's our way of all collaborating together in support of unity, and a lot of the help here volunteer their time because they have the same vision as me, and that's to keep the culture going even after we get old and gray. And hopefully, some of the younger kids that are coming up that take part in Kitty's Carnival, or maybe not, will take it over. Because I know at some point I'm going to have to pass the torch, so I'm just trying to educate as many people as I can. It hasn't progressed in the last how many years. I'm hoping it changes, and that we put on a show that the people deserve.
Enjoy this particular.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. All right.
Here's the next song. This is a heart. Here's the next song. From night to the morning. From night to the morning. Here's the next song. Here's the next song. From night to the morning. From night to the morning. No, we don't miss this. Hey, this is our king. No, we don't miss this. We don't miss. No, we don't miss this. We don't miss. Hi, we're going to miss this. We don't miss this. We don't miss this.
Okay, we're with Curtis Eustace here. A little information on the Toronto Carnival. Curtis, part of your whole background, I guess, is into mass and stuff. How you get into this situation? I know you as a baller. I know you with Chris Dale and these teams playing hard and tackling hard at the back. I didn't know this part of you. What happened here?
Well, you live with your dad, you had to help your dad. So we're going to get into more like in the carnival. But I was more free-spirited. As you know, it had two brothers, Marcus and myself.
Right.
So I was the more free-spirited one. Marcus was the more, I would say, introverted. I was extroverted. So where they will be building mass and Marcus learning more technical aspects, I could be out fetting. You know, I might come and help him during the day.
Yeah.
So how I got into it was being the more extroverted one. My dad, after some years, after winning 3 King of Carnivals, coming second around 12 times, he had one of the best records out there in terms of 1, 2, 3s over his span of his career. I just went home for Carnival and he got sick to support him.
Okay.
You know what I mean? For a little 3 weeks, normal thing, you know, normal training run.
Yeah.
And you know, he gets sick and I jump in the costume. And that was it. Curtains after that.
And you won?
No, that year I actually came second. But the next year, well, it was because of our portraying mass being extroverted and for lack of a better word, wild.
Yeah.
Send the crowd crazy and you know the family decided, well boy, we find somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just told myself, started in the gym, you know?
Yeah.
And said, alright, because he tell me, well, next year go hang me. And I went on and started creating history in Trinidad. The record now is 9 King of Carnivals. 9 King of Carnivals. I came second on 9 occasions also. Third once. And yeah.
Wow, okay.
So the big yard, I have a lot of respect for the big yard, and the big yard have a lot of respect for me.
Yeah.
You know, because so when I came to Canada, I didn't start playing King yet. I just came up here to live and build a life. But I used to go back home. But after about the 3rd or 4th year, after living in Canada, because I used to go over the summers also, Louis contacted my dad and said, listen.
Which is Louis Saldenah?
Yeah, Louis Saldenah.
Yeah.
Son of Harry.
Yeah.
Contacted my dad and said, listen, I need some help to build some kings and queens up here where the competition getting kind of heavy. So, you know, so as family friends for years, over 50 years, came up and he asked me to stay for the summer. Go come home. Well, I'm in Toronto, but he called me to stay and blah, 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 blah. And that's how it really started, you know. Everybody started and my dad started building and then we started taking sections with Louis. My brother and myself had different sections with Louis. And it just built that way, man.
Wow. The individual, what is the stats here?
No, well, I never played King for in Toronto.
Why you never?
Well, home is the Mecca, you know what I mean?
So you figure you don't want to drop your stuff?
Yeah, so basically what happened, we used to come here and build mass with Louis. We will choose people like Rudy Rampasad and Rudy Rampasad have about 9 King of Carnivals that my father built here. And we went on and just started destroying the competition over
Are
here.
you comfortable with not playing it here?
Oh, yeah.
On stage, King Curtis Eustace. This portrayal, Spirit of the Gas Brigade. This costume was created by adapt designer Marcus Eustace, featuring within the personal responsibility for the construction, fondly known as the Eustace Crew, with adornments comprising of various cloths, braids, plastic sequins, paints, and an internal embodiment of artistic wire bending, steel, aluminum, and fiberglass. This costume took 3 months to complete.
Applause once again for Mr. Curtis Eustace, the 2025 King of Carnival.
Aye, 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 aye.